Dearest Utah Theatre patron, what do you call a precocious player precariously perched on a pavilion while performing percussive pitches? Why, a fiddler on the roof, of course. This patron had the opportunity to view this musical production put on by the Ochre Hills Performing Arts Alliance at the Empress Theatre, and I must say the results were varying. The word that encapsulates this production is inoffensive. The show started off impressively enough, with a live fiddler on stage playing the violin right along with the rest of the score. While not every note was pitch perfect, it is an impressive feat in the eyes of this patron to be on stage for many parts of the show, performing and dancing along with the rest of the cast and without the aid of printed music to reference. This musician made this seemingly innocuous part a character of their own, on par with any of the others on stage. Technically, the show was inoffensive for the most part. This patron did notice that the main character of Tevye did not have a microphone for the entire run. This appeared to be by choice, since many members of the ensemble had microphones. Given the layout of the theatre, it was quite difficult to hear many of Tevye's lines, as he had to play to either one side or the other. This was disheartening, as the actor portraying him did a marvellous job, doing his best Chaim-Topol impression throughout. Another technical aspect that was brought to the attention of this patron was the lighting cues. Many set changes were done, with full stage lights up or even under spotlights. The technical crew seemed to be either behind or ahead of the appropriate lighting cue, which was extremely distracting at times. Based on the seating arrangements, this patron had a full view of the crew in the booth responsible for the mistakes. Each time it happened, I looked up and saw the crew members shrug to each other, as if to say, "We'll get it next time." Not every woman in the world is a Yente. This is a line spoken by the character of Yente, and truer words were never spoken. The actor portraying her shone, characterization, stage presence and accent were all delightful. Several others in the cast receive high marks from this patron: Tevye, as mentioned previously, Tittle, Kava, and Grandma Tittle. They were all magnificent. Others that I would peg as inoffensive included Golda, Mottle, and Laser Wolf. For the most part, accents were well done in the production. There were a few misses, however. Golda seemed to struggle with the attempted Yiddish accent, and the constable inexplicably used a German accent instead of the usual Russian one. The setup of the Empress Theatre can make it difficult for an audience member to get the full production into view. However, I feel that the production staff did their very best to make this space, which was previously used as a burlesque house, accessible and accommodating to the patrons. Choreography was fun and kept my attention throughout the large numbers. The dream sequence was incredibly fun, and this patron adored the unique way it was presented, with fluorescent face paint and masks. Another number that I found inoffensive was To Life. In this number, there is a solo performed by one of the Russian soldiers that helps bridge the cultural gap between the two groups of men. This patron believes that this is one of the most influential and beautiful solos ever written for the stage, so it was extremely disappointing to hear the actor portraying this part sing the solo a full octave lower than written. This destroyed the illusion of that bridged gap between cultures, as the actor struggled to hit extremely low notes not within his vocal range. In this patron's opinion, a solo so well written should never be adjusted to the abilities of the actor on stage. Rather, the actor should be the one to adjust to fit the impeccable music. This patron found the costuming inoffensive for the most part as well. There were a couple of noteworthy issues, however. Mottle appeared to be wearing part of a tuxedo throughout the show, not how one would surmise a poor tailor would be adorned. Another mishap occurred when this patron spotted a cellular device sticking out of the back pocket of the trousers of one Laser Wolf. One more note that I would like to touch on: the rabbi. This patron felt that the actor did a great job in his portrayal and was always in character. So much, in fact, that the actor decided to go out to the lobby during intermission and bless the snacks and treats as patrons purchased them. While the production as a whole did a great job in being respectful to the Jewish faith and its tradition, this action crossed a line. This was not inoffensive, as some of the other parts of the show were. I was outright offended by such a gesture. Who came up with this notion and thought it was actually a good idea? One thing that will always get this patron's goat is an act of disrespect and making light of a marginalised group. Ochre Hills. Performing Arts Alliance. Please do not allow such an error in judgment in future productions. Fiddler on the Roof is playing at the Empress Theatre in Magna from August 31st to September 14th. This patron gives this show 3 out of 5 cups of tea. Yours truly, Lady Powderton.